Hey, cartoon collector. Hey, Robert. Hey, Redemption. Glad to know the mic picks up the AC. Oh boy. Hey, Dylan. Hey, Gabriel. Uh, message deleted. I don't know why it got deleted. I don't know either. Alright. Hey, Ace. You were too naughty. I probably do not have this hooked up. So when I thought of Dark Snoot, I didn't think it was going to be a Dark Souls reference, but here we are. After another kindling of the flame, an artifact appeared in the world that could drive out the darkness and begin a new, eternal age of fire. Several knights were chosen, among whom was our hero. I'm not a fan of the font, but I'll try and read this. But he will not travel alone. His companion will be Fang. They will have to go through a long and dangerous path together, which will be difficult to predict. What the hell? Where am I? Am I in Minecraft? A woman approached me. Judging by her appearance, she is the Fire Keeper. Open to the Firelink Shrine, traveler. What is your goal? I need to find the path to the kiln of the first flame. I heard footsteps behind me. Who are you? She was a pterodactyl girl. She was dressed in a typical cleric set. I'm Fang, a cleric from a village near the undead settlement. Got it. I'm Anon, just a regular knight with a great purpose. The Firekeeper turns to me and continues speaking. You won't reach the kiln on your own. Then what should I do? Go fuck yourself. Fang, just like me, was shocked. I have no idea why she said that. Wait. On my way already. Head beyond the undead settlement. There will be a bonfire. Light it, and you'll see everything yourself. Fang looked at me and asked, why do you want to go there? Just a couple of hours ago, I was chosen by the gods and became a champion of Ash. Now my goal is to find the artifact that will return the world back to normal. Fang looked at me over with a smirk. I hope no one will regret choosing you. Mutually. Tough case. Got it. Alright, no time to waste. Wait, can I come with you? That was unexpected. Are you sure? Yeah. Since you're not a champion of Ash, you'll need to hold his hand to travel. We looked at each other, then held hands, and headed to our destination. Hope we get to see a Faram night. They got that seamless co-op mod. A second later, we were already where we planned. Whoa, this is really cool. Same here, until now. I heard people like you are cursed with immortality. Is that true? Yeah, but luckily I'm not immortal. That's why we have to reach the kiln without taking damage. So you're mortal like me, but still able to light bonfires. Yes. But I haven't tested it yet. When I received the power, I just knew everything about my new champion form and where the bonfires are. It's kind of like foresight or a compass in my head. Good, I wouldn't want to watch you slowly rot alive. That's a disgusting sight, I think. Fang is waiting for a reaction to her joke. Well, I wouldn't want to see you die, so don't run ahead of me. And don't throw your life away for nothing, smart guy. I hit us both equally. Never mind, I suggest we set up camp. It's getting dark, and time's doing its job. Besides, I'd rather not run into any crap in the dark. Agreed. An hour later, we were getting ready to sleep, talking by the bonfire and getting to know each other better. The weather was cool and windless, and the atmosphere was wonderful. The warmth and sounds of the magical fire complemented it perfectly. So that's how it is. I thought it was all nonsense. I hope I saw it with my own eyes. Looking at the sacred bell in her hand, I asked, how long have you been studying faith and miracles? For years. I can heal and hurt with them. I should probably show this. Looks like an ordinary bell, but in the hands of a skilled cleric, it's a deadly weapon. I fought a bit myself. Yeah, I'm surprised you were even chosen. Were their eyes closed during the process? Grumpyface.png activated. I won't argue, I'll just respond. I don't know, maybe Lord saw some potential in me or something like that. Well, we'll see. I looked up at the moon and said, I'm so glad time flows normally again and that creepy eclipse is gone. Yeah, I was shocked when Lothric and the other lords of Cinder refused to link the fire. Same here. Good thing there's one last hope in the form of the chosen undead. Fang nodded in agreement. Alright, time to sleep. Good night. You too. We both lay down to sleep. I lay there for a bit, lost in thought, staring at the beautiful starry sky. She loves to tease, but honestly, how would I cope without her? The journey is full of dangers, and it is unknown how long it will last. Without her, it would be much worse. Did you say something? No. Damn mumbling. Fang gave me a suspicious look, then turned over and went back to sleep. Alright, enough thinking. Time to sleep. Who made this mod, by the way? I don't know. Apparently some Russian, because there's a Russian version of this mod. Maybe there'll be credits at the end, I don't know. I passed out almost instantly. The night passed without incident. Good morning. Good morning. Fang looked tired. You look like death. Did a truck hit you or something? Didn't sleep well last night. You kept mumbling. You talk in your sleep a lot. She yawned, which made me yawn too, and something in the bushes joined in. Let me guess, Trisha Reed. What the hell? Well, shall we get moving? The tiredness vanished from her face. Of course, where to? Bonfire's that way. I pointed towards the forest where we could see some ruins through the trees. Perfect, let's get... In the distance, from the direction of the settlement, we heard the barkings of hounds and footsteps of the approaching Cathedral Evangelicus. Run away from here. There's supposed to be a choice here? I will just start saving. Run away from here! Run away! We ran as fast as we could, not even thinking about fighting them. We kept running for about 10 minutes, just to be sure we lost them. The path we were on looks like it had been forgotten the moment it was laid out. Sorry, I have to, like, squint my eyes sometimes. This font is not 10 feet away from my screen friendly. We were both exhausted and finally stopped. After catching our breath, Fang looked up and asked, Hey, did they even see us? I mean, the distance was pretty big. I looked at her and realized, yeah, they probably didn't even notice us. No idea. Great, so we just sprinted like idiots. Thank you, oh mighty warrior, commander, general of armies. Something's definitely off here. She gave me a look filled with spite. I said nothing. We walked through the forest. The scenery was beautiful. Birdsong, rustling leaves. The vibe was immaculate. But the silence between us was getting awkward. I glanced at Fang. On her right wrist was a golden bracelet with an inscription. Maybe I could ask about it. That's a beautiful bracelet on your wrist. What's the story behind it? Fang slowed her pace a bit, looked at the bracelet, and replied with a soft smile. That's a gift from my parents. When I mastered my last miracle, they gave it to me. It's been quite a while since then. She sighed sadly. Must have remembered something. Probably better not to pry. What does the inscription say? My name. A personalized bracelet. That's priceless. Have you fought many battles? Not that many, but yeah, I've fought. No giant monsters or demons. Didn't kill any of those. What's your favorite miracle in battle? Fang paused for a moment, thinking, then replied, probably the Sunlight Spear. I've seen it. It's massive and, I assume, pretty powerful. Yep, regular undead get blasted away instantly. John Freeman, leave this place. I don't get that reference. So is this Snoot in Dark Souls, or are they playing it? No, they're in it. I'm gonna invade and drop the hello carving repeatedly. Okay. We picked up the pace and kept walking. The sun was getting lower and the ruins closer. Suddenly, a ghoul hound burst out from the bushes on the right and knocked me off my feet. I tried to get up immediately. Fang turned to the noise just as I drew my sword. She didn't have time to dodge, and the beast lunged at her, jaws wide open. I threw myself forward, sword first, right at the damn thing. The blade pierced the undead dog through and through. You alright? I helped Fang to her feet. Yeah, it caught me off guard. Be careful. Next time I may not be fast enough. Thanks. You got a pretty sharp reflexes for a weakling. Thanks. They rarely travel alone. We need to move fast. I said, wiping blood off my blade. Agreed. We resumed our path. The silence was gone. We walked and shared stories with each other. Have you ever seen a mimic? Yes, but only once. They are tall, thin, and disgusting creatures whose mouths always contain something. I once had to fight one of them. Fang looked at me with surprise. To defeat a mimic, it's not enough to just swing a sword. Yeah, it wasn't easy. Good thing I had a couple of bombs in reserve, and a huge will to live. Fortunately, they don't beat like Hidetaka Miyazaki father did to his son, so they are easy to dodge. Okay. John Freeman is Half-Life, Full-Life Consequence reference. I wouldn't know. Little did they know. Little did they know they in Souls 3 and about to get stun locked by a villager that has a 30-hit combo string with no opening between them. Ugh. Stop. What? Why? Look. I pointed to two knights of Lothric ahead. Wow, what are they doing here? Apparently, this place was somehow connected to Lothric's castle. Fang looked at the knights again. Why are they wearing blue armor? I've only seen them in red. These ones are stronger than the ones in red. How do you know that? I'll tell you later. I stood up and drew my sword. Looking at Fang, I asked, "Ready for a fight?" Fang nodded and smiled at me. I threw a stone to distract them. It worked. While they turned towards the sound, I jumped out from behind the bush and ran at the nearest knight. Fang, on the other hand, grabbed the holy bell and blasted a huge lightning bolt of lightning at her enemy. I managed to strike first, knocking the opponent off balance, but he raised his shield and went into defense. I needed to wait for his mistake. Is it gonna throw like a weird quick time minigame at me? That would be total ass. Meanwhile, Fang hit him with one lightning bolt, but the second one struck his shield and dealt almost no damage. Suddenly, my opponent gripped his sword with both hands and delivered a powerful strike. I managed to dodge and felt the blade cut through the air just in front of my face. Taking advantage of the moment, I got behind him and delivered a critical hit. The knight's red eyes dimmed, and he collapsed to the ground with a thud. Turning to Fang, I saw her blocking a strike with a broadsword and finishing off her opponent. Didn't know you had a broadsword. Are you okay? Taking a sip from the ashen flask, she gave me a thumbs up. Fang approached me and said, "Easy game, lobby of noobs." Yeah, but it would have been easier with a shield. Casually. I wiped my sword and we continued our journey. Yes, 2008 is a long time ago. We're getting old. Interactive mechanics in my visual novels say it isn't so. There's some that have that. What is it, When Worlds Collide has it with the music thing, and then, what was it, was it The Darkness of Snoot or something? That one World War, or some kind of fucking war game, the War LARP, where it had you, like, click on shit to, like, I think it was, like, button mashing, and then you had to, like, click on targets or whatever. It was dumb, but it was a good mod. Well, I can't even call it a mod, it's a demo. I don't think it ever got finished. This feels like D&D parts of Goodbye Volcano High. Is Sage gonna show up and have the ground vor us? Oh god. We didn't go far. Soon we came to a fork. Wow, I suggest we split up. I thought for a moment. Oh, here we go. We finally got real choices. Take the risk. She can handle it. Alright, but if anything happens, head back immediately. Okay. We split up. We go to see other people now. I approach the ruins. Looks like something happened here. There were armor and bodies scattered around. Perhaps there was a battle. I wonder how Fang's doing. She can definitely take care of herself. She took down a knight by herself. In any case, she can come to me if needed. I walked through the passage. There was a lot of space. Everywhere I looked, there were debris, bricks, and armor. But there was one that stood out. It was sitting, and next to it was a massive 200 sword stuck. Wait. A massive. Oh, two-handed. As I said, the font is horrible. Two-handed sword stuck in the ground. I took a few steps, and this armor came to life. The Lothric, oversized knight, pulled his sword from the ground and quickly advanced towards me. And that's when I realized splitting up was a bad idea. Damn. Just run away, buddy. I drew my sword and gripped it in with both hands. The monster's eyes glowed bright red, like the blue variations, only this one was red. Don't panic, it'll be fine. The knight charged and slammed his sword into the ground. I managed to roll to the side. Rolling in leather armor and chainmail armor is much easier than full knight's gear. The knight roared, pulled his sword from the ground, and charged at me again. I can't keep running forever. I need to figure something out. At that moment, the knight swung again and drove his sword into the earth. I realized that while he was pulling it out, I could hit him. I charged and hit him with my sword. He roared in pain and yanked his sword from the earth, grazing my right arm. Ouch! The huge withered corpse in armor spent all its stamina on a series of failed strikes. After the last swing, I managed to dodge and close in. I pierced him right through with a precise blow. The knight let out a roar of pain and collapsed directly on top of me. I was pinned to the ground. Well, don't Dark Souls enemies just fucking disappear after being killed? Don't they turn into souls? Why did you have to fall on me, you jerk? Suddenly I heard a shout from the archway. Hey, Non! Help me! It was hard to breathe under such a heavy weight. She ran over and together we pushed the corpse off me. When I got up, she hugged me. Thank God you're alive. I'm fine, just a scratch on my arm. Sorry I left you. We didn't know there could be something like this here. She let go of me. I can heal you if you need. Don't worry, I have a flask. I took a sip from the flask, and my wound healed as if it never happened. I found a bonfire in ruins. It was a really good place. That's good. Good luck, because enemies cannot be staggered, but you get interrupted if the enemy as much as just fart near you. Why bother with heavy armor when poise doesn't exist? I was a naked greatswords Chad in Dark Souls 3. I didn't play Dark Souls at all. We turned around and went. The sun was already setting behind the horizon and was getting dark. After a while, we arrived at the bonfire. The place is really good. Not a bad spot. Yeah. I approached the bonfire and lit it. A fiery beam appeared from the bonfire, pointing towards the opposite exit. We'll go there tomorrow. Got another scene. We sat by the bonfire. You killed that huge knight by yourself. How did that happen? If you've only fought a couple of times. Are you lying to me? Fang was waiting for my response. Not a lot, but I fought enough. Then why did you lie to me? There was a pause. To be honest, I just said it for no reason. Wait, I just said it for no reason. Alright, so what's your real combat experience? Dozens of battles. I guess there's no need to ask about the Blue Knights anymore. I smirked and looked at the sky. What's the toughest battle you've had? With the Boreal Outrider Knight. Wow, that's already a high level. Fang smiled. Yeah, but I wasn't alone. I had... Fang paused, and her joy disappeared from her face. What happened? Fang looked at me. A tear rolled down her cheek. My brother. Oh. We found this big guy on all fours. It wasn't easy, and his frostbite was really annoying. But we managed. Something else bothered you? After a brief pause, she answered. He's gone. One day, a wyvern killed him and our parents. Oh no, bird against bird. Violence. Oh no. Fang couldn't hold back her tears. I stood up and approached her and hugged her. She hugged me back. I'm so sorry to hear that. Fang wrapped us in her wings, creating a kind of cocoon of feathers. While gently stroking her back, I said, I don't know what it's like, but I promise you, no matter what happens, I'll support you and share your pain and grief. Through her tears, she responded, Thank you. Laser got domed by invading dark spirit, pussy slayer. Bird on bird violence is never okay, guys. A few minutes later, she calmed down, and we laid down to sleep. Thus, our second day passed. Day 3. We woke early and ate quickly. The forest was nearing its end, and in the distance we could make out the silhouette of a small settlement. I wondered if there was still anyone alive there, or if it was yet another forsaken place. Fang looked better today than the last time. You're looking a lot better today. Guess no trucks ran you over last night. Fang smirked. No, I actually slept fine this time. The forest ends soon. There's a village ahead. Could be worth looting, and if someone's still alive in there, we'll see if they're friendly. Exactly. The chance of something good is slim, but it's better than nothing. Let's go. We followed a narrow trail. The weather was warm and clear again, though this time the sky was scattered with large clouds casting shadows on the ground. Well, it looks pretty bright now. The further we walked, the less we saw of ruins until they vanished entirely. Surprisingly, the road was calm, no sudden guess, no lurking threat. After a while, we finally reached the settlement. The journey felt more like a stroll than a struggle. Before us lay a small yet rather charming village. Many houses had broken roofs and cracked walls, but overall the place still looked livable. Maybe, just maybe, someone still lives here. It's beautiful here. Yeah. Wish the next bonfire was in a place like this. Tired of sleeping in the middle of nowhere. Sadly, it's not up to us. Something caught my eye. I looked up and saw a dark figure standing at the balcony of one of the buildings. Look! I pointed it out to Fang. She turned quickly and spotted the stranger too. There really is someone here. Before we could do anything, the figure slipped behind the door. We exchanged glances, but didn't have time to speak. The end of the street revealed five hollow soldiers approaching. Of course, nothing ever goes smoothly. We'll deal with them. Two wielded crossbows, while the other three carried spears and large shields. They had a strong position. Charging in head-on would be suicide. We need to lure the shield bearers away. They're weak. Just bait out a strike and take them down quickly. I'll throw a lightning bolt their way. Fang focused, winding up to release a bolt, but the crossbowmen already had spotted us. Bolts whistled through the air. Fang's lightning struck one of the shields, erupting in a burst of light. We took cover in a narrow alleyway, dodging the bolts. The three spear soldiers pursued us, their steps growing louder. Alright, we'll face them here. Fang nodded. We braced ourselves to meet them in the tight passage. Suddenly, a burning hollow soldier burst around the corner. The hell? Then a man in a tattered robe stepped out behind him. Who are you? Wait, who are you, warrior? Agnes, a pyromancer. When I saw you, I hurried to your aid, but I crossed path with those undead. I see, I'm Manon, and this is my companion Fang. A pleasure. We shook hands. Well then, since we've met, I'd be honored to invite you to my home. Wait, weren't we fighting something? Or was I just not paying attention? Oh boy. It's still Dark Souls, so every character questline ends with the NPC dying or trying to kill you. Wait a second, patches in a bald human man. Based pyromancy enjoyer. We accepted and followed him towards his dwelling. The place where we first seen him turned out to truly be his home. We stepped inside. It was a modest yet cozy abode with a balcony overlooking the village's main street. Warmth welcomed us, and the air was thick, with the scent of burning wood and herbs. I have something for you. He pointed to a cauldron at the center of the room. Steam rose from it, carrying the scent of stew. Oh yeah, I was starving. Me too. We sat at a wooden table. Agnes ladled thick golden hue stewed into bowls. It was Estus soup. Estrus season. This place is dangerous. I know, I seldom have guests. How long have you lived here? Agnes looked up from his bowl, his expression somber. Always, this has been my home for as long as I can remember, but in recent years it has become a fortress for survival. You've made it feel warm. The atmosphere is wonderful. Agnes smiled, his face softened, if only for a moment. Thank you, that means a lot. We kept eating, talking of many things. When the meal was over, Agnes asked us a question. Where are you headed? I set my spoon aside and answered. I'm the chosen one. We are heading to the kiln of the first flame. An artifact has appeared there. They said it can stop the fire from dying out forever. Agnes froze for a moment. It cannot be. An artifact capable of stopping the fading. That's right. If that's true, it would be a great honor to assist you. He rose and walked to a cabinet against the far wall. Opening it, he retrieved something that immediately caught my eye. He brought forth the pyromancy tome of Carthus. I will teach you the pyromancy. It shall aid you on your path. Whoa, thank you. Lucky you. Fang looked at me with a smile. We spent a few hours in conversation and practice. Agnes proved to be not only a skilled pyromancer, but also a pleasant companion. Thanks to him, I learned how to imbue my blade with fire. Your faith and intelligence are too low to wield pyromancy properly. You must increase them. Ugh, the bonfire is quite a trek from here. Agnes thought for a moment, then stepped into the next room. Where is he going? I don't know. After a few minutes, he returned. There's one left, but I still don't use them. He handed me the bone of return. I still have to go back to that jokester. Only one left, but I never used them anyway. He handed me a homeward bone. Guess that means a visit to that jester again. Fang giggled, recalling our last encounter at Firelink Shrine. At least we won't have to walk all the way back again. I looked at Fang and asked, You coming with me? Of course. She stepped closer and we joined hands. A small vortex enveloped us, and in a blink we stood once more at the heart of Firelink Shrine. Here we are again. The firekeeper approached us. Welcome back. What is it you seek? I need to raise my faith and intelligence. Very well. Touch me and let the souls strengthen their vessel. I stepped forward and placed my hands upon the orb in her grasp. My strength grew with the whispers of souls. Still possess souls. You may trade them if you wish. I've been meaning to enhance my weapon. Are there any merchants or smiths around? Before the firekeeper could respond, Fang answered. This way. She pointed towards a tunnel-like passage. Perfect. I followed the path. First, I purchased Titanite from the shrine handmaid, then I headed towards the muscular, silver-haired blacksmith. Aside from reinforcing my sword, I also reallocated my Estus. I now carry 2 ashen flasks, just like Fang. All done. Fang turned to face me. That was quick. Didn't feel like chatting much. Alright, we should get going. Wouldn't want to wander into the dark woods too late. Then let's not delay. This mod is well produced, but what is it trying to say? It's just I think it's just someone's fun romp of Dark Souls with Snoot flavoring in it. I mean, it's there for the people who want it. I'm not too impressed yet. I mean, it's a Snoot mod, and I like filling the void of drought with Snoot mods, so I will put up with it. Based Andre the Blacksmith, he tells you in Souls 1 to get yourself killed. Go hollow. We approached the central bonfire and warped to one near the ruins. Unfortunately, the sun had already dipped below the horizon. Well, this sucks. At least there are no forks in the road. Yeah, do you have any miracle for light? Fang pondered for a moment, then replied, Sadly, no. After a few seconds of thought, I had an idea. I got it. I can coat my blade with fire and use it as a torch. That'll do. I drew my sword from its sheath and cast pyromancy upon it. Now it glowed like a torch, lighting our way. Better than nothing. We passed through the woods without trouble, but as we neared the town, we spotted hollow undead stirring from the earth. Thankfully, we managed to slip by unnoticed. We knocked on Agnes's door. Hurried footsteps sounded, and soon the door creaked open. Come in! We stepped inside his home. How did it go? Fine, I also upgraded my sword. Nice, and you, Fang? All good, but I didn't buy or upgrade anything. The stock was poor. Got it. Well, time to rest. Tomorrow you hit the road again. Fang and I nodded as he led us to our room. Here's a room. Make yourselves at home. There's a small chamber with a large bed and 2 wardrobes. If I had something better to offer, I would have done it. That's perfect. We've been sleeping in forests and ruins, remember? Agnes looked surprised and smirked. And tonight you're living in luxury. All right, I'm off to sleep. Good night, friends. Good night to you too. In Dark Souls 3, I infused my greatsword with luck, which increases damage if you go hollow, so I got to level 99 hollow and kicked butt. I removed my armor and left only my simple clothes. Fang 2 took off her dress. Oh no! Whoa, hey now! Underneath, she wore only a top and pants. She turned to me, holding the dress in her arms. Look! Turns out the dress was armor all along. There were plates sewn into the upper parts. Not bad. Only a fool walks around unprotected. True enough. We put out the lamp and lay down on the bed. We're splitting the blanket. Of course. That means Fang gets the blanket. I turned away, trying to fall asleep. But after a few seconds, Fang turned towards me and said, Hey, Non. I turned to her. Out of the blue, I just wanted to say I love you. Even though we just met like 2 days ago. What is it? I just want to thank you. For a long time, there's been a pain in my heart. I couldn't tell anyone. It haunted me. The memories wouldn't let me rest. I just want to thank you for being here. I never had true friends, especially not like you. I was stunned. That means a lot, Fang. I'm truly glad to have you by my side. Fang smiled. A single tear rolled down her cheek. Good night. Good night, Fang. We turned away from each other and drifted to sleep, lost in our thoughts. Ascended our 3rd day. Day 4. I woke up. Fang wasn't beside me. She must have gone to help Agnes with breakfast. I got up, donned my armor, and went looking for them. As I opened the door, I heard them talking. Watch the food. Watch the food. I'll be right back. Okay. I came down the stairs to Fang. Good morning. Morning. Really slept in today. Yeah, I haven't slept that well in ages. I stretched and walked towards the window. The sky was cloudy. Let's hope it doesn't rain. Now we'll have to stay longer. I saw Agnes outside the window, returning with a sack. He came inside, carrying it. Ah, good morning. Morning, where'd you go? He opened the sack and showed some vegetables, getting us a healthy breakfast. He brought them over to Fang, and they began cooking together. Need a hand? Agnes glanced back, thought for a moment, then said, "Doesn't seem like it." "All right then." I walked over to a couch on the other side of the room and sat down. It was soft and comfortable. I wonder how far we still have to travel. There should be a few more bonfires ahead. It really was convenient having all the knowledge I needed from the start. Hang on. What's... Come, time to eat. Guess I zoned out pretty hard. I got up and walked to the table. I made meat sandwiches, vegetable salad from Agnes's sack, and some kind of tea. Enjoy your meal. You too. We began eating. It was quite delicious. At one point, Agnes looked up at us, half a sandwich still in hand. Did I ever tell you about the beast I saw recently? Fang and I exchanged a glance. No, you didn't. Well, now's the time. He finished the last of his sandwich and continued. At night, before we met, I heard loud footsteps and growls outside. I decided to take a look through the window. When I did, I saw some massive creature, looked like a crocodile. Oh boy, is this gonna be Olivia? Olivia the Barbarian? Fang and I tried to figure out who he was describing. Can you be more specific? Agnes tried to recall. If I'm not mistaken, it had 6 eyes. I think I have an idea. Was its ribs visible? Kinda, yes. The description pointed to one creature. You described the beast of Pontiff Sullivan. What is that? Wait, what is it? They looked at me expectantly. As far as I know, the creature appeared because of Pontiff Sullivan, or more precisely, because of his rings. A friend of mine told me how he encountered it. He miraculously walked away alive. How strong is it? It spits lightning from its mouth like a dragon. Very resilient. Its attacks are powerful but predictable. It becomes vulnerable when it breathes lightning. I don't know anything else about it. I wouldn't want to meet it. Agnes nodded in agreement. I hope not. How did it end up here if it was created in Irithel? Good question. Wait until they get married, Soul's lore wise, where Anon jabs a sword into Fang's face. Yes, there's actual lore for it. Oh no, the cuck couch. Sacrifice her dark sigils so you can become the true Dark Lord of Londor. Big dog. Anon kills the beast of Pontiff and gets the Fap ring. Not knowing the answer, we continued eating in silence. After about 8 minutes, we stood up from the table. That was delicious. Respect to the cooks. Fang and Agnes smiled. We made our way to the door. Goodbye. I guess the time has come for us to part ways. Take care, Agnes. You're a good man. They approached and shook my hand. Good luck on your difficult journey, my friends. Farewell, Agnes. We left the house, waving at him as we went. He's a good man. Yeah. We headed down the road that led us out of the village. Back to the forest again? Are we just going through forests? No idea. I hope not. This forest was different, less dense, and situated on a hill. We left the village and entered a forest less dense compared to the last one. The trail here was better than the one in the previous forest. Fang looked up and said, Look, the weather's clearing up. Yeah, but the wind's still strong. We continued walking, the rustling of the trees all around us. We both stayed silent, enjoying every moment in nature. Along the way, we occasionally found large paw prints from the creature. After walking a bit more, we came across a recently felled tree on the path. Probably it was in the creature's way. I can't shake off the fact that a huge monster passed through here recently. Me neither, but we'll be fine, won't we? A concerned Fang smirked. Of course. I wanted to say something to cheer her up, but before I could say a word, I suddenly heard rapid footsteps and the clanking of armor behind us. What the? We turned around and saw two dark spirits covered in blood. What are these assholes? Dark spirits. I drew my sword and assumed a combat stance. Fang summoned lightning. Oh boy, more decisions. We'll defend ourselves. Let's crush them weaklings. We'll defend ourselves. We will defend ourselves. Stay back! Stay the fuck back! We'll defend. If he puts up the red field, then don't hit him. Wait for the moment. Fang nodded and threw a bolt of lightning at one of them. It fell. The enemy rushed at me and struck, but I managed to raise my sword. Damn, I should have used pyromancy on my sword. I parried his attack and struck. It roared and became even angrier. I swept its legs out from under it, and it fell, unable to strike me. The enemy was pierced through. Hey, Non! I turned around to see how the dark spirit knocked her weapon from her hands. I felt as if a flame ignited inside me. I never felt more enraged than now. I ripped the sword from the corpse. I've got artwork. I can barely tell what's going on. As if on autopilot, I ran, dodged the strike, and impaled my foe, driving them into the tree behind. Pulling the sword from the tree, the dark spirit crashed to the ground. Watch out, they will give you the suck. Hold up, shield, and strafe behind them and get a backstab. You really scared me. Are you alright? Fang was in shock from what she had seen, but after raising her falchion, she replied, Yes, and you? I'm fine. Well, since all is well, let's move on. Who are these dark spirits? I couldn't say. I know much. I've only heard rumors about their service to the primordial serpent. Serious fellows. Yeah. We moved on, climbing higher and higher. After some time, the moment came when we both started to feel hunger. Fang slowed down, then stopped and said, I'm hungry. I'm craving food. I stopped and turned to her. Me too. We need to find something. I looked around. The trees were becoming fewer. The forest was nearly finished. Nothing edible in sight. Is that an apple tree? She pointed to a tree we had passed some time ago. You sure have good eyes. She smiled proudly, and then we headed towards that tree. When we reached the apple tree, we saw a dozen large red apples hanging from it. Fang placed her hand to her chin, looking at it as if deep in thought. How to get them? You have wings, Fang. I didn't waste any time and tried to climb. Maybe we shouldn't. We should. I climbed halfway up the trunk, then drew my sword and started cutting the branches with apples. Be careful. It's under control. Breaking off the last branch, it fell on my face, causing me to lose my balance and fall. Ow! Anon! Fang rushed to my side. Are you okay? Do you have brain damage? She helped me up. I think so. All bones intact. I picked up my sword and returned it to its sheath. Alright, let's eat. We sat under the apple tree. We each took an apple. I took the first bite. It's so sweet. Fang wiped her apple and took a bite. I'm not exactly a herbivore, but these apples are nice. A fish would be great right now. Unfortunately no fire or fishing pole by the river, but I'd gladly settle for grilled fish. We finished the apples and continued our journey. Rosa will remember that. The sun slowly sank lower and lower. When will we find a campfire? Oh, that sound, that buzzed between my brain. I'm turning that down a bit. When will we find a campfire? I think soon. It didn't take long. In the distance, I saw a campfire surrounded by enormous stones rising from the ground. Look, there's a campfire. Fang spotted it too. It's not just a campfire. Indeed, someone was there. We should be cautious. Obviously. We slowed our pace. The figure turned towards us and waved. Seems like they're friendly. Looks that way. As we approached the campfire, the person next to it greeted us warmly. Greetings, travelers. A short man in a hood and gray hair greeted us. Hello. Who are you? He answered with a good natured, but somewhat sly smile. I'm Gregor, a wandering merchant. And you are? He looked at us expectantly. I'm Manon, a knight who must kindle the artifact for the eternal age of fire, and this is my companion, Fang. What artifact? I never heard of such a thing. After the last kindling in the furnace of the first flame, an artifact capable of creating an endless age of fire appeared. He looked surprised, but quickly composed himself. It is an honor for me to assist you, therefore I offer a discount on all my goods. A helpful gesture. Hope you give something for free. Don't like it? Then goodbye. Alright, show me what you have. Among all the items, I found a ring that conceals itself during rolls. How much is this ring? He pondered. It seemed he was calculating the discounted price. 3,000 souls. Quite a lot. Buy. Might as well. It could be useful. After thinking for a moment, I decided to buy the ring. Alright, hand it over. Good choice. He handed me the ring and took the souls. He turned his gaze towards Fang. Maybe you'll choose something, Fang? No thanks. Alright then, I'll be on my way. Good luck on your difficult journey. Take care, same to you. I approached the bonfire and lit it. The bonfire's light pointed towards the distant canyon. Wait. Now we can rest. Why did I read that like now? Or how? How we rest? Like I said, this font is difficult to read from like 10 feet away. Is he selling a Steam code? Yeah, we're playing on a pirated edition of Dark Souls. We sat down. I examined the ring. It was a thin silver ring with a red gemstone. I took off my gauntlet and put it on. Testing. I rolled over. It works! Nice. Should have tested it when he was still here. I messed up, but still, it works. After a few minutes of silence, Fang stood up. I'll walk around here until it gets dark. More choices. Let her go. Goodbye, Fang. Okay, I'll stay here. She nodded and went behind the rocks. I remained alone. I carefully surveyed our surroundings. My attention was drawn to a dark stone where the merchant had sat. I approached and took it in my hands. Turned out to be titanite. Perfect. I'll level up at the blacksmith and Firelink shrine later. A few minutes later, Fang returned. There's nothing nearby, just traces of that creature. She sat by the bonfire. I went back to my spot and sat in a comfortable position. I stretched my neck and looked around. From the forest where we came from, an owl hooted. Behind the rocks, which are our home for the night, crickets chirped. What a poor combination of words. The wind softly howled with them, but our stone fortress was unharmed. I looked at Fang. How do you feel about today? Fang thought for a moment and replied, It's fine. You surprised me today. What's so surprising? She leaned back. Don't play dumb. I mean, what happened in the forest? Yeah, you literally went beast mode out there. So many choices. I did what I had to do. I know I couldn't do otherwise. I did what I had to do. Fang answered cheerfully. That was awesome. You literally slammed him into a tree. A smile appeared on my face. I didn't expect it either. I lost control. You heroically saved me. She made the sweetest expression. Yeah. I thought for a moment, looking at her. This path, it's harder than I expected, but with Fang, we'll push through it all. Fang lowered her head and dug through her bag. After a moment, she pulled out an apple. Want one? I nodded, and she tossed it to me. I almost dropped it, but I caught it. I took a bite of the sweet fruit. Fang pulled out another one for herself and took a bite. I've never eaten apples before, but I guess I will now. I mostly found sour apples before. I didn't like them. Suddenly, Fang stopped and, with a smirk, showed me a small worm peeking out of her apple. Ugh, a worm. On the contrary, it's a good sign. They don't choose bad apples. She wrinkled her face, but then removed the part with the worm and continued eating. By the way, that merchant left some titanite here. He did give a gift, though not willingly. Yeah. I finished my apple and laid down, preparing for sleep. I gazed at the beautiful starry sky. Large and small clouds floated across it. Beautiful. Fang also lays down, remained silent for a moment, and then quietly added, Yeah. When I was little, I thought they were fireflies flying high in the sky. Fireflies? Funny. I smiled, imagining her childhood imagination. And how long did you think that? Until they told me they were just stars far away. So far that even birds and dragons can't reach them. Yeah. Fang smiled slightly. My eyes were already starting to close. Well, it's time to sleep. Tomorrow might be a tough day. You're right. Good night, Anon. Good night, Fang. We both closed our eyes. The crackling fire was the only sound, as we drifted into sweet sleep under the starry sky. And so passed our fourth day. Fifth day. The night went on by normally. Nothing unusual happened. He's selling a Steam code. Don't say bad apple to Fang. Oh, God. Well, no, it's Russian, so Umbra wouldn't probably have wrote this. I wake up. The sun was already at the level of the treetops. Fang wasn't by the fire. I stepped out from behind the rocks and looked around. She's not here. For confirmation, I made another round. I'll try shouting. Fang, where are you? My shout echoed through the valley, but only silence responded. Suddenly, a bird flew out from the forest. Before I could blink, it was struck by lightning. I immediately understood it was Fang's doing. The bird fell to the ground, and from the shadows of the trees, a familiar figure appeared. She saw me and waved. I waved back, watching her pick up her prey and head towards me. How about that? Did I roast it well? Yeah, you're like a sniper. In her hands was a small pheasant. Pheasant, not bad. Yeah, it's not the biggest, but it will be more than enough for us. I walked to the fire, and she suggested, will you clean it? Okay. I took the pheasant and began the cleaning process. It took some time, but an hour later, Fang was already roasting it over the fire. I was covered in dirt. Did you see any near water sources? She pointed towards the forest. Go that way, you'll see a path. It'll lead you to a spring. Okay, I'll try not to take too long. I followed the indicated path. It took about 15 minutes to reach the road, and I was there. I approached the water. It was so clear that I could see the small gravel shifting at the source. I drank a little, washed my face, and wiped my armor. The water was cool and very refreshing. Now I'm clean and satisfied. Time to go. I headed back. On the way, right above me, a woodpecker was hammering at a tree. A piece of bark fell on me. Thanks a lot. I chuckled and continued on my way. To be fair, just conjuring a lightning bolt and throwing it like a spear is never not cool. Are you saying Fang is the spear chucker? Finally, emerging from the forest, I saw the caravan bathed in sunlight. It was vast and imposing. Oh wait, not caravan, it's canyon. Well, it's the font. I swear it's the fucking font. I wonder what's over there. But there's no time for pondering. I returned to our campfire, where Fang was already eating the pheasant. This bird-on-bird violence, man. Enjoy your meal. Thanks. I sat down and grabbed a leg for myself. The dish was delicious, and hunger only made it taste better. Tasty. Fang nodded to me without looking up from her meal. By the way, how did you manage to hit that pheasant? She looked up at me, chewing a bite, then replied, lightning is a bit self-guiding. If I throw it off target, it adjusts its flight a little. Medieval homing missiles with a heat vision. That's actually cool. She laughed and nodded, and then we both continued finishing our portions. We ate and stood up. Well, shall we go? Yes, it's time to move. We gathered ourselves and headed towards the canyon. The plains around were silent, no enemies in sight. I was going to say, this looks like AI, but I don't know. As we got closer, we saw a towering cliff. It's huge. Now we need to be careful. Better not to trip. We walked further and came to a fork in the road. Well, this is unexpected. Which way do we go? Right path, left path. There's so many decisions to go back to after this. It's crazy. Right path. To the right. Let's go right. Let's go. We took the wide path along the slope. This hung in the canyon. There's There was an oppressive silence, only the wind howled between the mountains and the ravines. After walking a bit, we found a decrepit bridge. Let me go there. I'm lighter than you. Let her go. Persuade her not to. Go myself. Oh my goodness, so many decisions. Let her go. Alright, but be careful. I will. She walked towards the bridge. As she approached, she inspected the planks. She carefully stepped onto the first, then the second, and slowly but steadily made her way across. Soon she reached the other side. She disappeared onto the other side, but after a few seconds, she returned to the bridge. She crossed back and said, "There was a cross-shaped key." She showed it to me. "Let's keep it. It might come in handy." We continued on. Our happiness was short-lived. Turning the next corner, we found an expansion of the canyon that resembled an arena. The worst part was not that it was a dead end, but that the very creature Sullivan had spoken of was there on the opposite side. "Oh, for the love of..." "We hide," I whispered to Fang. We quietly hid behind a rock. What should we do? I focused. We need to kill it. Why? It's going in the same direction as us. We'll meet it sooner or later. And how are we supposed to kill it? It'll devour us. That's all. I have a plan. Did you see the ledges on the right side? She peeked out and then stepped back inside. And? I'll give you my ring and you'll distract it while I climb up. She gave me a wicked look. Am I going to keep running from it or what? I'll just lead it to me, and I'll jump on its head. That's a big risk. I know, but if it catches us later, we won't be able to jump on its head. She thought for a moment and then replied, "Alright, bring it here." I remove the cuff and hand her the ring. As soon as it notices me, you'll run out and strike it with lightning. She nodded and I ran to the first ledge. I climbed to the first ledge, but when I jumped to the second, it noticed me. It roared loudly. Fang ran out from behind the rock and threw a sunlight spear at it. "Catch this, you bastard!" Mr. Sullivan didn't appreciate that and rushed towards Fang with a scream. The third ledge was too high. I can't afford to make a mistake. Fang skillfully dodged as the creature tried to devour her. At one point it charged at her, but Fang managed to roll out of the way just in time. Looks like I'll have to jump from here. I charged my sword with fire and waved it at Fang. She saw my signal and ran towards me. The creature had built up speed and crashed into the rocks just below me. Die, you fiend! I fell straight onto its head, piercing it. Fang threw a sunlight spear at it and it collapsed lifeless. Easy. Throwing that beast there. Throw that beast there. Great job. Whew, now let's go see what's down that path. We headed down the trail leading to the gorge. The sunlight barely reached here, so it wasn't very bright. Look! Fang pointed at a protruding rock where something lay. I wonder what that is. Climb up. I'm no rock climber. What? What if you can? Oh, there's a chance. Alright, I'll give it a try. I began to climb the ledges. To get a better grip, I took off my gauntlets. See, slowly but surely, you're getting there. The key is not to fall. One ledge after another, I climbed higher and higher. And finally, I reached the top. Well done! I stood on the ledge with the item and picked it up. It's coal. You can use it. I know. I took it and used it on myself. I felt a tremendous surge of strength. I looked at Fang and said, "I feel more alive than ever." "Cool, now come down. That'll be easier than climbing up." I carefully descended. "I'm back." Fang looked me over. "Your armor is smoldering now." I noticed. It's some kind of magical flame. I turned towards the passage. Fang... Wait. What is Fang saying? Fang followed my gaze. Fang followed my gaze. It's widening. Yeah, it looks like it's the it looks like the exit is near. Perhaps. We continued our journey. Turning the corner, we discovered a gate and some kind of man. Some kind of knight. Fang squinted to get a better look at him. He was a knight in old rags. At first glance, his armor resembled a cloak. Seems like he's trying to open them. The knight stepped away from the gate and turned towards us. I'm going to turn on the AC for a bit. He drew his sword from its sheath. "Who are you?" His voice made clear he was hostile. "I'm Anon, the Chosen One. This is my companion, Fang." He took coal from his bag and activated it. The duel will show who is truly the worthy Chosen One. What a fool. We'll see. Are you out of your mind? Why are we fighting? Only one may ignite the artifact. It's just you and me, and the girl can watch your death. The battle is inevitable. Fine, have it your way, but since you want a fair fight, put your shield down. Tossed the grass-crushed shield and charged at me. I drew my sword and ignited it with fire. He charged and struck. I dodged and my counterattack missed. I need to bait him. I ran to the right, but as soon as he swung, I tumbled to the left. I found myself behind him and immediately struck. He groaned in pain. If he surrenders, it's an easy win. He quickly turned around and sliced through part of my carcass. A deep gash appeared on the left side of my chest. The pain was unbearable. He swung again, but I blocked it with my sword. He tried to push me back, but I knocked his sword away and kicked him in the chest. He flew back, and I stepped behind him, pressing my still glowing but now cool sword in his throat. "I'm giving you a chance to leave alive." He dropped his sword and said, "Fine, I surrender." Wait. I let him go. He stood up and drank from his Estus flask. I did the same. I wanted to open these gates, but you turned out to be stronger. Fang approached, clearly nervous. "So how do we do this?" "We need a cross-shaped key." "Well, that's me. I have that." Fang pulled the key from her bag and the one we found beyond the bridge. "This one?" He looked at Fang. "Yes, that one. You may proceed." He picked up his shield and walked towards the fork in the road. He approached the gate. Fang inserted the key into the hole shaped like a cross. The gate slowly creaked open. Beyond them, the chasm ended, and I could see a village with a large building in the background. This village appeared deserted at first glance, and the sun was already setting. We needed to move faster. "So, ready to go? There should be a campfire around here somewhere." "Let's go." I moved forward, heading towards the village. There wasn't much vegetation around us, not surprising considering where we were. Fang was taking in everything around her. The views were indeed breathtaking. "Not a bad view here." Fang glanced away from the landscape and replied, "Yeah." We're already almost an hour and a half in. This is a chunky mod. He really just embered up. Now he has a full HP bar because you have 20% less health if you're not embered. Reminder that the Fallen Knight set item description for the pants say how the previous person who wore them pissed and shat themselves. My god. We're getting closer to the village. That's abandoned. All the houses were abandoned, some even in ruins. After a few minutes, we arrived at it. The main path was rocky and worn by time. We walked down it. I noticed that among the houses, one stood out. It was in better shape than the others, with its windows intact. I turned to Fang. I'll go inside this house. She nodded. I approached the door and opened it. A loud creak echoed. I stepped into the house. It didn't look abandoned. It was tidy, with a kettle on the table and a lamp beside it. I moved further in. The bed was made, and there was a chest next to it. Well, I'm not going to open up someone else's chest. No guarantee this place is abandoned. I thought for a moment while looking at him, but then I left. Fang was already waiting for me. So, what's up? Looks like someone lives here. Really? Yeah. Her hands were behind her back. What do you have there? With a smile, she pulled out a small metal shield. No way, you found a shield! That's right. She handed it to me. Thank you, Fang. You're welcome. I was really glad for this find. Now I can parry enemies. The sun had already set behind the mountains. It was getting darker and darker. Bonfire should be nearby. As I understand it, it's in the Cathedral. Great, I'm already tired. Me too. We headed towards the Cathedral. We approached it. It was a large building, well preserved compared to the other cottages. Good thing it's not just another pile of stones stacked like a wall. I'd be terrible having to sleep on rags with no roof again. Yeah. So when are we reaching Isengard? I don't know. We entered the cathedral. It was fairly intact inside. There were chairs scattered about, an old rug in the middle, and at the end stood a broken altar. Close to the center of the hall, there was a long-awaited bonfire. We approached the bonfire, and I lit it. We sat as usual, each at our side. I'm so damn tired. Same, today had more action than usual. Yeah, a bit too much. That was a good kill on that beast. You did great. A little compliment. Yeah, you did great too. Dodging like that is also a skill. She smiled. I looked up at the cathedral ceiling. I wonder, why is that chosen one so insane? I glanced at her. Guess he wants fame and power. Probably, but I doubt Lord will come to him and place him on the throne. Gwen's been dead for millennia. His soul lived on as the soul of Ash. But the soul of Ash is dead now. Yeah, that part of the world was practically destroyed, turned into piles of ash. I looked at the moonlight coming through the windows under the roof. This place we're in now is a place of normality. We could leave as is. We could leave as it is forever. I followed the great purpose, with the world at stake, not like the first Flames Forge or the city behind the wall. Yeah, but I don't know if we can make it through. What's with you? We'll definitely make it. Yeah, but the enemies are completely insane, and we're not immortal. It was clear she wasn't joking this time. It'll be fine. We killed those beasts, and we'll kill anyone who stands in our way. She seemed a bit more energized. By the way, why didn't you kill that possessed one? Damn, you're right. I don't know, I guess I didn't want to take a life. He wanted to kill you. I know, but he gave up and agreed to leave. You could tell he was already dead inside. Yeah, that's true. He lost all his sick enthusiasm after the defeat. Yeah, that was enough. The sounds of the wind outside began to lull me. Alright, I'm going to sleep. My eyes are closing by themselves. Agreed. Sleep tight. You too. I lay down to sleep. I pass out almost immediately. So ended the 5th day. Day 6. The night passed without incident. I woke up and looked around. Surprisingly, I woke up before Fang. Looking outside, I saw cloudy weather. Looks like it's going to rain. I should wake Fang and head to the Firelink Shrine. I approached her and shook her shoulder. She slowly opened her eyes. What? Get up, we need to go to the Firelink Shrine. In a sec. She got up and stretched. What about food? Hunger disappears when moving, just like injuries and other things. Okay. We approached the bonfire and teleported to the Firelink Shrine. Go upgrade your weapon while I level up. She nodded and went to the blacksmith while I headed to the firekeeper. Welcome back. What do you seek? I want to level up. Very well. Touch me and let the souls become your strength. I leveled up and felt much stronger than before. Thanks. Now I need a blacksmith. I went to the blacksmith and upgraded my sword to +7. On my way back, I saw that Fang was already waiting for me. All done? Yeah, and you? Yep, my scimitar is now insanely powerful. Good. Getting close to the church, rip Fang's face. We went to the Cathedral bonfire and teleported back to the Cathedral. To say we were surprised at what we saw would be an understatement. A velociraptor was staring at us, just like Fang. Oh no, oh no, someone's OC! She was in armor, like a knight, with a katana in her sheath. Who are you? I'm Anon, the chosen for the salvation of the world. I'm Fang, his companion. You startled me. I'm Velmira. Nice to meet you. Yeah, you scared us, too. You say you're saving the world. How do you plan on doing that? In the forge of the first flame, something will ignite that will create an endless era of fire. My goal is to light it. Very interesting. Yeah, so what do you do? I'm a wandering knight. I don't like staying in one place. We, in a way, are also wandering knights and clerics. Yeah, where are you headed? Like that says to the mountain across from the cathedral over there. I pointed at the mountain visible through the entrance. She pulled out a binocular and looked at the mountain. There's something there. And we definitely need to go there. Well, good luck to you. Perhaps we'll meet again. I just need to head to the other direction. Same to you. Katana, Dex Meta, sweat detected. We left the cathedral and parted ways. And that's when I realized whose house it was in that village. Listen, the house I entered yesterday looks like it was hers. Fang found this funny. Yeah, did you take anything from there? No, I wanted to open the chest, but I changed my mind just in time. And that was the right thing to do. I also found it amusing. Alright, let's move on. Let's go. We walked along a small path, which sometimes ended abruptly. Ahead, I could see a row of tall fir trees. Oh no, not Douglas Fir. Ending to Olivia Gator Douglas Fir. And beyond that, in the distance, was the mountain we needed. Got to tell you, I bought myself a wonder for enchanting weapons with lightning. Oh, nice. Now I'm fire and you're lightning. Heh, yep. I noticed that with Fang, I felt somehow better. I felt special, comfortable next to her. I wonder, does she feel the same? Maybe she's just not a friend after all. I continued walking, lost in thought. I walked about 500 meters and noticed something. Do you see that? I pointed to an object at the end of the forest line, or the edge of the forest line. Fang squinted and replied, "Some strange rock." We quickened our pace and got closer. As we approached, we saw change wrapped around this rock. It doesn't look like a rock. Suddenly, it turned towards us. It was a giant undead with a stone on its back and its face wrapped in its hands. It held a staff with something resembling incense. "Spare me." "Why? Who are you?" It groaned and lifted its head towards us. "I am Morven, a pilgrim from Londor." "Sounds familiar." "I take it you're friendly." "Yes, I can see that you're a champion of Ash." His voice changed. "That's right, I'm looking for a bonfire that will lead me to Gornail, the first flame. It will be an honor to assist you. I wield powerful magic." "What kind of magic?" "I can unlock your true power." "What power?" "It will become the best version of yourself." "That sounds interesting." "We need to discuss this." "Of course." Fang and I move aside a little. "What do you think? Should we try it?" "I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't. He seems a bit strange." "I can't disagree." Fang seems to have heard something about them. "Are you sure you don't remember anything?" "No, but I don't think I heard anything good about them." "In that case, I think it's better not to risk it." I returned to Morgan. I thought about it and I decided, no thanks. "Alright, take care." Anon jumps off a cliff 15 times to draw out his true power. 5 free levels. I nodded at him and returned to Fang. "We can move on now." We moved on. Light rain began to fall. Damn, it's raining. I hope it doesn't get stronger. We're getting close to the trees. In the distance, lightning flashed, followed by thunder. This is bad. We entered the trees. The rain was lighter here. There were 4 large firs, but they offered good protection from the rain. Everything seemed the same, another plain, but beyond that, another row of trees. Wet, Fang looked at me. "What do you think? Will it die down?" "Anything is possible." A thunderclap rang out, as if to hint at the answer. Or maybe not. Let's wait for it to calm down a little, then we'll move. Yeah. We stood there, waiting. At least the rain began to ease. Alright, let's move. We pressed on. I love the smell of rain. Me too. The fresh, damp air is wonderful. The drizzle was light, hardly a bother at all. The path's gone. I see it, but I know where we're headed. Right. We walked through the wet grass. It was short and didn't soak us much. I wonder how much further we have to go. No clue, but definitely not just 30 minutes. The wind picked up slightly, carrying the scent of damp earth and grass. I hate wet clothes. They cling so uncomfortably. We'll have to endure it. Distant thunder rolled across the sky again, though weaker than before. Seems like the storm's drifting elsewhere. If we're lucky, it won't catch us again. We neared a new tree line. The forest loomed grim in the mist. This one feels darker than the last. Maybe, it just seems that way. Fang stepped ahead and then halted abruptly. Hey, look, someone's living there. Or lying there, sorry. We headed towards the strange silhouette beneath the lonely tree. As we got closer, it became clear. Before us lays the corpse of a knight. Holy hell. He didn't look long dead. His armor was caked in mud and soot, and there was a gaping hole through his chest. Another chosen, but who could have done this to him? Fang crouched beside him, inspecting the remains carefully. Looks like fire, or maybe lightning did this. Nearby lays an empty Estus flask. I leaned closer and spotted a small pouch beside him, behind him. Look at that. What's this? Fang pulled the pouch free and untied it. Inside were several firebombs. Firebombs? Interesting. I picked one up, turning it cautiously in my hand. Could come in handy. Yeah, especially against things weak to fire. I nodded and strapped the pouch to my belt. Let's just hope we don't meet whoever did this. We kept moving. The rain continued to fall. The clouds still hung heavy above. By the way, your armor doesn't care about the rain. It's still smoldering. And had a little magic flames doing its thing. Fang let out a laugh. Respect. There's a Sigma move. We walked on, the mood now a bit lighter. The rain seemed to pick up slightly. As we neared the tree line, we found what looked like a small cave. Look, a cave! She pointed out to a hill on the right. You're right, let's run for it. We ran towards it. Now we can finally rest. I'll lean against the wall. Fang looked at her left hand. I completely forgot. She showed me my ring. Keep it. Consider it my gift to you. She smiled. Thank you. Don't mention it. I hope we won't have to stay here long. Fang nodded and glanced outside. Her face changed in an instant. Hang on. I peeked out in frozen disbelief. 3 silver knights were headed towards our cave. 2 bore swords, 1 a spear. Oh, hell no. They spotted us and broke into a run. I looked at Fang. Run, they'll trap us if we stay. We bolted from the cave. Stopped about 30 meters away. I lit my sword aflame while Fang summoned lightning. What the hell are they doing here? We're heading towards the bonfire that leads to the kiln. What did you expect? Right. I grabbed a round shield with my left hand. The raindrops sizzled as they touched the burning blade. The knights charged. Split up. I'll draw 2 of them. We dashed in opposite directions. Knights split just as we needed. One of them lagged behind, giving me a chance to parry the closest. I stopped and waited for his strike. I parried him perfectly. I pierced him with the flaming sword. First one's down. Fang was gracefully dodging her foe's spear. The second silver knight rushed at me. He lunged with a swift thrust. His lightning-infused blade missed me by mere inches. I struck him back. He bashed my face with his shield. I was knocked back from the blow. I barely clung to consciousness, but Fang's scream snapped me out of it. Anon! I looked up and saw the knight lift her and throw her into the stone wall. No! No! I got up to my feet and charged. I couldn't control myself. The knight blocked my strike with his shield. No, bastard, you're not getting away that easily. I knocked him down and drove my sword through him. The second knight was already charging, but I rolled aside. He missed, and I pulled the sword from the corpse and dashed behind him before he could rise. Before he could turn, my sword was in his back. The knight fell with a crash and a roar. I was drenched in blood. Adrenaline drowned out the pain of my broken nose. All enemies are dead. I sheathed my sword and ran to Fang. I dropped to my knees and took her into my arms. Fang, wake up! I checked her pulse. She was alive. Without hesitation, I pulled out the estus and carefully poured it into her beak. Her bruises and wounds began to close, and slowly she opened her eyes. Anon. Yeah? She lifted her head and looked around. They're dead. Wait, they're dead. How'd you do that? I don't know, I lost control. She got up from my arms and I stood as well. Damn, she got ganked. She looked at the three knights' corpses. Never ceased to amaze me. Are you hurt? Nose is broken, the rest is their blood. Drink some Estus. I gave you the last one. I showed her the empty flask. Damn, that's rough. Let's keep moving. We don't have far to go. She squinted at the mountain. Looks like some kind of temple. Could it be the final point? Then let's not waste time. We walked towards the mountain. I was starving, but the bonfire was close, so there was no need to worry. We were getting closer to a new tree line, beyond which lays a straight path to the final destination. As we entered it, Fang called out to me. Anon. I turned around. What's wrong? I'm sorry for letting you down. Come on, we're still alive. Yeah, but it's not the first time. You kept pulling me from death's grip. These enemies are powerful. I haven't fought perfectly either. Experience comes with time. Don't blame yourself. Okay, I just feel ashamed. Don't dwell on it. Let's move on. We kept walking. After the rain, the birds began to sing again. What's better than that? Honestly, I was tired. We've come a long way and vanquished many mighty foes. Hard to believe the end is near. I hope we pass quietly. We reached the edge of the woods. Ahead lay a vast field, at the end of which stood the mountain with the temple. No enemies here. The place was empty, only trees rustling in the wind. I looked around. Something off the right caught my eye. Fang, look over there. She squinted and seemed a bit surprised. There's a bonfire. Strange. Why are two bonfires so close? No clue. Let's get to it fast. Right. We walked towards the bonfire. I lit it, and a beam of ash and flame pointed directly to the temple. Let's check the Firelink shrine now, then come back. Okay. We approached the bonfire and warped to the Firelink shrine. I've got no souls, so I'll just stand here. Okay. I walked over to the Firekeeper. Greetings, Anon. What is it you seek? Yeah, I need to level up. Very well. Let these souls become strength for their bearer. I increased dexterity and faith a bit. You're nearly out of souls for the moment. That's fine. I leveled up enough. I sense something's troubling you. What happened? I can tell you. We had a rough fight with the Silver Knights. Fang nearly died. But everyone's alive and well. You've nothing to fear. I know, but she blames herself for always ending up in danger like that. What'd you say to her? That experience is normal. We've all been there, and that I don't blame her. You said the right thing. At least she seemed a bit calmer. Then all is well. Just make sure it doesn't happen again. I get that, but if she fights poorly, mistakes are almost inevitable. Support her, that's all. Alright, we're heading off. Not far to the last bonfire. Good luck. Thanks. I walked back to the bonfire. Fang sat on the steps, head lowered. We can go back now. Oh, you were already here. We reached the bonfire and traveled to a clearing. We weren't alone. We turned around and saw a silver knight. I'll kill him. As soon as she said it, he noticed us. That wasn't the worst part. From him emerged a massive black mass with glowing red eyes and protruding bones. Holy shit, what the hell is this? Fang, take the bombs. I untied the pouch and handed her 3 fire bombs. Throw a bomb, then strike. That fused the flame. We imbued our weapons with fire. Let's split up. I go right, you go left. She nodded, and we rushed towards the beast. I pulled out a bomb and hurled it at the thing. It howled in pain, and we began to strike. Once the effect wore off, we dodged its claw swipe. Fang threw a bomb right into its face, blinding it. Take that, you wretch. While thrashed like a worm, we landed a series of blows. I kept hitting one spot on its limb, trying to sever it. But regained focus, it lunged at Fang. She dodged just in time. I threw my last bomb, then sliced off its massive limb. It howled in agony and grabbed me with its jaws, even as its flesh burned. It smashed me into the ground, impaling me with a fang and breaking both my legs. The pain was infernal. This must be the end. I failed my duty and left Fang alone. It flung me several meters away. I couldn't move. I could only hear Fang still fighting. But then I heard a familiar voice. Go to Anon, I'll deal with it. Valmira arrived just in time. Fang threw another bomb at the monster and ran to me. Anon, are you alive? Hard to say. It's okay. Valmira's back. It's pointless. I'm losing strength. You fought well. If I don't say it now, I never will. I love you, Fang. Eyes begin to close. Fang said something, tears in her eyes, but I couldn't understand the words. Felt something in my mouth. Opened my eyes and saw that Fang and Valmira looking at me. How am I still alive? I gave you my Estus. Whew. I stood up from the ground. Fang came closer and embraced me. Bad end. Even if I miss out on some bonus loot by doing so. Not the worst audio mixed enemy in the game. These tar monsters, for some reason. The loudest things ever put in the game. Fang has a pickle. What? I hugged her and gently patted her back. Thank God you're alive. Anon, I love you too. You're the best person I've ever met, and I couldn't bear to lose you. We stood like that for a while. We were going to cuddle all night. We let each other go. Well, let's head into the temple. We made our way towards the temple steps. The sun was already dipping below the horizon, but due to the mountains and the distortion of time, darkness fell quicker. We entered the temple. At its center, a bonfire glowed faintly. I stepped towards and tried to light it, but nothing happened. Weird. Fang looked around and saw an inscription on the wall. There's something here. It says, "Let the flame kindle on the day of fires and the rise of darkness. We must wait for the eclipse. Sooner or later it'll come. Time's already behaving strangely. Light falls faster. Then we won't have to wait long." I sat down by the bonfire. Velmira and Fang also sat down across from it. I looked at Velmira and asked, "How'd you find us?" "I heard the wailings of that abomination. Besides that, I just headed in your general direction. Some bald idiot lied to me about treasure." "I see. I had already made peace with my fate." "You two were lucky. Just a few more minutes and everything could have ended differently." "It was a close call, but we made it. I wonder what awaits us next. Judging by what we saw, just ash and ruin. More importantly, who awaits us there? We'll see when we travel. No point in guessing now." "Can't argue with that." A wave of drowsiness hits me. Time to rest. "I don't know about you, but I'm completely drained. Good night, everyone." "Me too. Good night, guys." Nighty night. We lay down, ready to sleep. I'm just glad we made it through, though I wouldn't mind if it had gone better. We clearly wouldn't have survived that kind of situation. Thus ended the 6th day. 7th day! I woke up and noticed the light outside had changed. I stood up and headed for the exit. The eclipse had begun. Darkness once again began to swallow the world, unraveling time itself. Quite the unpleasant sight. I should wake them. It's time we moved on. The fear of the unknown lingers, but we're close to the end. Nothing and no one can stop us now. I returned to my companions. "Rise and shine!" We jumped up at the shout. "Sir, yes, sir." "For God's sakes, don't yell like that again." "All right, but you have to admit, it's effective." "Go to hell." Silence. "Let's move out." I walked up to the bonfire and lit it. Fang came over and took my hand. "Elmira, let's go." Elmira stepped up and took Fang's hand, and we teleported to the kiln of the first flame. We appeared before a strange chalice. There's no turning back now. Before us lays a blinding white descent downwards. Why is it so bright? Beats me. Someone just passed through. Phantoms of black knights were walking down the stairs. Those are the phantoms of black knights. We descended. Whoa. Before us stretched the ancient place where Gwen offered himself in sacrifice. Pretty dark in here. The sky was veiled in clouds. Only rare beams pierced through. Spikes on the pillars, they look like icicles. Most likely melted from the fire's heat and ignitions over time. Makes sense. Slowly pressed on, observing our surroundings. It was oddly empty, no one in sight. Maybe we finally made it through without trouble. Don't jinx it. Alright, alright. We drew closer to the ruins. A strange light glowed from within. As we approached, an eerie feeling crept over me. Do you hear that? Strange sounds echoed from the entrance of a massive structure. We crept up carefully and saw... Ooh, animation? Another dogged ones? Won't let you light the flame. Enough of the age of fire, let the darkness come. Dark warrior. I'll give you a chance to leave, without a fight. Elmira turned her head and whispered, "We'll beat his ass and forget he existed." Elmira and I drew our weapons. I imbued my blade with fire. "You shall not leave alive. What's the point of all this?" "Save the speech." Elmira charged without warning, forcing me to lag behind. Fang hurled a bolt of lightning, but he dodged it. Uh-oh. This don't look good. Elmira reached him and swung, but he evaded, grabbed her by the throat, and lifted her up. So proud, so naive. You lie to yourselves, thinking you can defeat me. He raised his sword to skewer her, but Fang threw a powerful bolt. It wasn't enough. "I warned you." I swung my sword, but he blocked. We locked eyes. Oh, hey, Hoshin. So is this mod done, or is it still in progress? Well, as far as I know, it got uploaded with the demo. So the demo's there, but apparently I think this is the full thing. Another dogged contender. You'll pay for what you did to her. Stronger than I expected. He twisted his blade aside and punched me square in the face. I flew back several meters. As I struggled to rise, Fang hurled another mighty bolt that sent him flying. In return, he launched a huge sphere of dark fire at her. Bang! And now you're alone. Your foolish, fragile comrades are dead. I slowly rose from the ground, fury boiling within me. Why do you do this? Darkness is our true nature. The gods poisoned our minds and cursed us with eternal life, driving us mad. I want to end this. His words meant nothing, just another zealot with a warped mind. I don't care how strong you are. I don't care what powers you have. I see the future, and you won't live to see tomorrow. After all this, after everything I've done, you still think you can win. At that moment, Fang, with her last strength, rose and threw one final bolt before collapsing and dropping her chime. Ah! Next time I'll make sure she stays dead. Don't touch her! I charged at him with my blade. We clash again. This time we trade blows until I parried him. I pierced through him. He fell on his back. Still think you're winning? Of course. Conjured a dark fire sphere and hurled it at me. My face was covered in horrific burns. I'll kill you! Another animation. Fang, are you alive? She slowly and weakly raised her head. Anon, did you win? Yes, are you badly hurt? Very. Is Velmira alive? I don't know, I haven't approached her yet. I hope our sacrifices were not in vain. What are you talking about? You will live. I like to believe it. Please, Anon, complete your duty. Her head dropped. The wounds and burns were too severe. Tears welled up in my eyes. Leaving Fang behind, I stepped through the ashes and blood, heading towards Velmira. As I approached her, I saw a pool of blood. I bent down and checked her pulse. She's alive but unconscious. She's lost too much blood. She can't survive this way for long. Her flask was broken by that monster, and all my Estus leaked out when I fought him. Why? Why? I looked at my hands, bloody from the fight. Was it worth it? I shook my head, trying to collect my thoughts, and looked at the entrance to some ancient building. A bright light was shining from there. I rose from my knees with difficulty and took a step towards the light. The last hope is the artifact for which I have been walking and suffering for so long. Maybe it will save Velmira and Fang. I went in there, and in the corner of the huge hall, it was levitating in the air. There was a huge glowing crystal inside of which power and fire literally seethed. Please restore the world and save my friends, even if I have to sacrifice myself. I know you're not alive and can't hear me, but it makes me feel better. I walked up and touched it, and the light flashed. Ending 1. Restored world and a happy life. Happy wife, happy life. Except she's dead. You have fulfilled your journey and saved not only Fang, but Velmira, but the entire world. Nicknames in Discord. BOGD5 222. Special thanks patches in Goosey Hokage. Music Chozik.com and FMA. Thanks for playing. All scenes and character sprites can be found in in-game images. All audio is the game's game/audio folder, made in 2025, or is that 23? I can't tell. The end. Oh no, there's probably multiple endings because we got different choices. And they're probably all you died. I just find it funny how ending 1 is the good ending. When really in Snoot context, ending 1 is usually the bad ending. That was 2 hours, man. Let me take a break. I need to take my acid reflux meds, and then I'll be back. We'll tie up the loose ends and do the other choices. So give me like 2-3 minutes. Alright, I'm back. I went to take a bathroom break too. Go to the BRB. Let me go through all of chat real quick. So, this mod's been going for almost 2 hours, and they're at the kiln of the first flame, so I think it's almost done, yeah. Are you winning, son? Yeah, we got the best ending, apparently. P.S. Linking the flame is not a happy end because you burn up to keep a dying world alive until the next schmuck is tasked to link it again. You're basically just firewood. When are we going to see Snoot Rim? Oh, Skyrim, Snoot. Hey yo, how's everyone today? Hey dog. FromSoft games are always depressing and nihilistic. Okay. So we got like a bunch of choices we could have gone through. Oh, why did it start at 8 and 9? Or did I do that? Crazy. Alright, oh, there's that one. Go together. She's coming with me. No. What? I said no. Why? It's not allowed. I'm your father now, Fang. Fang was upset. We took the left path. After some time, we finally approached the ruins. It looks like something happened here. In some place, armor and corpses were scattered. Looks like there was a battle here. We entered the passage. There's a lot of space, debris, bricks, and armor scattered everywhere. It's just the same shit. No? Okay, we crushed them. Wait, it skips anyway. What the hell? Hold on. Well, that's too late. Why is that all default? Oh no. Oh no. After choices. After transitions. What does this even mean? Oh no. I have to go back. No, we're not saving. I apologize. So... well, it's not like I can test it again. We've already went through the text, so... entered the passage, but yeah. One thing stood out, something is sitting, and next to it was an enormous two-handed sword stuck in the ground. When I took a few steps, they came to life. The Knight of Lothric, the overgrown one, pulled his sword from the ground and started walking quickly towards me. Holy shit. We have the numerical advantage. It's over for him. I drew my sword from its scabbard, holding it in both hands. The monster's eyes glowed with a bright red light, just like the blue variations, but this one was red. The knight rushed and struck, driving his sword into the ground. I managed to roll to the side. Rolling in leather armor and chainmail armor is much more convenient than heavy knight gear. Fang threw a lightning bolt at him. The knight roared, pulled his sword from the ground, and charged towards me again. At that moment, the knight swung his sword and again drove it into the ground after the strike. I realized that, well, he pulls it out of the ground, I can hit him. I managed to land a powerful blow. Fang's a son, bro. He groans in pain and pulls the sword from the ground, scratching my right arm. Ouch! Fang throws another lightning bolt at him, knocking him off balance. At that moment, I managed to approach him up close. With a precise strike, I pierce him through. The knight roars in pain and falls right on top of me. I remain pinned to the ground. Help me. Fang helps me get out. She looked at my arm and used a healing miracle. Thanks. No problem. Looks like this is a dead end. I knew there was something on the other path. Fang took a sip from her ash flask. We turned around and went. The sun was already setting behind the horizon. It was getting dark. After some time, we arrived at the ruins, inside which was a bonfire. I'm assuming most this the same until we get here. Okay, let's crush. We'll save this over. Let's crush them weaklings. Let's take them down. If he pulls up the red field, then don't hit him. Wait for the moment. Fang nodded and threw a bolt of lightning at one of them. It fell. I blocked the armored skeleton's attack with my sword. Is this a non-decision? Damn, I should have used pyromancy on my sword. I parried his attack and struck. It roared and put up its protective shield. It walked around me and then attacked, but I was faster and killed it. Hang on. I turn around and see the dark spirits knock her weapon from her hands. I felt as the flame ignited inside me. It's the same stuff. It's the same shit. Let's not buy. Let's be funny. I don't want your shit. A useless waste of souls. I shook my head, declining the purchase. Expensive. I'll pass. As you wish. Maybe you want something, Fang? No. Then I have no business here. Farewell. He packed his things and left, heading back the way he came. Cheapskate. Yeah. I approached the bonfire and lit it. The bonfire's light pointed towards a distant canyon. Now we can rest. Right. I'll be able to level up with these souls. True, but that ring could have come in handy. Come on, we'll manage. After a few minutes of silence, Fang stood up. I'll walk around. Say on that one. We'll follow Fang. Stop her. I'll stop her. Maybe you shouldn't. It's already dark. Well, calm down. I'll be quick. Alright, but don't go too far. Call if anything. I'll manage. She frowned and went behind the rocks. I stayed alone. I carefully surveyed our surroundings. My attention was drawn to a dark stone. Yeah, it's the thing again. Nothing changed here. Save that. You know I couldn't do otherwise. Fang answered cheerfully. That was awesome. You literally slammed him into a tree. A smile appeared on my face. I didn't expect it either. I lost control. Fang lowered her head and dug through her bag. After a moment, she pulled out an apple. Yeah, this doesn't change. Let's try the left path. Left path. To the left. Let's go left. Sure. We walked down the path leading to the gorge. The sun's rays barely reached here, so it wasn't very bright. Look! Fang pointed to a protruding stone with something on it. I wonder what's there. That's the climbing thing. Oh, so we skipped the bridge. Okay, so we skipped the bridge. We skipped the crocodile guy. So now we got this guy again. His voice made it clear he was hostile. Same as before. Fang, clearly nervous, approaches us. How do we do this? We need a cross-shaped key. Do you have the key? No, but I know it's somewhere around here. Where exactly? I've searched everything here, so it must be near the canyon. Alright, go on then. He picks up his sword and shield and then leaves. Well, we have to turn around. Well, let's go back. One moment. Approach the gates and take a look at what the key should look like. Now, wait. Now let's go. We turn around and head for the canyon. At the fork, we see that knight heading towards the forest. As we approach the canyon, Fang says, I wonder how deep this is. I don't know, but it looks pretty deep. We walk a little further and then an old bridge. Let me go, I'm lighter than you. Okay. Save. Don't go. I will talk her out of it. Maybe you shouldn't? I'll be careful. Don't go there. The planks are all rotten. Don't worry, you can see for yourself that they're fine and not decayed. She walked towards the bridge. She approached, she inspected the planks. That's the same stuff. You were wrong to worry. Showed it to me. Here it is. Alright, let's see what else is here. That luck didn't last long. Yeah, the arena part. So this is where we fight that thing. Let me... Oh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to load again. I wanted Anon to go. Anon will go. I'll do it myself. I'm going myself. I told you, your armor's heavy and you're not exactly a thin skeleton. I ignored her and went towards the bridge. It looked unstable. I took the first step. Everything was fine. But when I stepped on the second plank, it broke under me. I managed to grab the first board. Anon! Fang rushed me and helped me up. I told you not to go alone. I messed up. She approached the bridge and calmly crossed the remaining planks. She disappeared on the other side, but a few seconds later she returned. She crossed back and said, "There's a cross-shaped key." She showed it to me. Here it is. Let's see what else there's here. Okay, so literally does not change much. There wasn't a ring to give the Fang in that fight, but I guess we still won. Oh, wait. Hold on. We got drama. We approach it as... It was a large building, well preserved compared to other cottages. Good thing it's not just another pile of stones stacked like a wall. That would be terrible having to step on rags with no roof again. Yeah. There's something in her voice. Something wrong? Yeah. What is it? I don't like how you control me too much. I'm not controlling you, I'm just trying to protect you from making foolish decisions. Foolish? Then why am I still alive? You've never been right in your decisions. How was I supposed to know that you'd get lucky all those times? If you keep leaving, you could have died. You should have trusted others, or at least not shouted at them for anything. You act like a tyrant. You got upset about everything. Go ahead, cry about it. She silently walked into the cathedral. I followed her. As I entered the cathedral, I saw her sitting sadly by the bonfire. I walked up to the bonfire and lit it. I think it's best not to disturb her now. I prepared a spot for myself to sleep. I'm going to sleep. Good night. No response. Day 6. Night passed without incident. Fang didn't kill me in my sleep. I woke up and looked around. Fang was nowhere to be seen. Strange. Well, maybe she went outside. I stretched and sat for a few minutes, waiting, but she didn't come. Alright, I'll head to the Firelink Shrine. Well, she's not there. Walked to the bonfire and teleported. I arrived at the Firelink Shrine and immediately went to the Keeper. Welcome back. What do you wish? I want to level up. Very well, touch me and let the souls become your strength. I leveled up and felt much stronger than before. Thanks, now I need to see the blacksmith. I went to the blacksmith and it's the same dialogue. Went outside and circled the cathedral. She wasn't here. Could it be? She left me? This can't be. What did I do to her? A wave of sadness and sorrow hits me. I couldn't believe it. I sat by the bonfire, staring into the fire. Probably half an hour's passed. Maybe it's her fault. I just didn't want her to die because of her foolish decisions and actions. Alright, I need to keep moving. What will change because of her leaving? Nothing. She only got in the way and complicated everything. I stood up and left the cathedral. The weather was cloudy. In the distance, I could see the temple on the mountain. Looks like that's where I need to go. I walked and all I could think about was her. It hurt so much and I couldn't let it go. We've been through so much together. Was I really that bad? Suddenly, I heard someone shout from the right. Hey, traveler. I turned towards and saw the shout was some kind of intelligent undead. I turned and walked towards him. Oh, this guy again. There was a pilgrim skinny with a huge shell wrapped in chains on his back. Who are you? I'm Morven, a distinguished mage. What do you want? Oh yeah, Fang's not here to convince us otherwise. Where are you headed? I need to go to Gorinal to cradle the eternal age of fire. It will be an honor to help you. I can awaken your true power. Oh yeah, here we go. Two decisions. We can accept or we can refuse. I wonder if we go it alone, we'll refuse. No, thank you. Don't be shy, you'll become stronger. And why not? It doesn't matter. Alright, let's do this. My choice did not matter. He stepped closer, and a magical sphere appeared in his hands. Touch it and you'll become a new person. I touched the sphere and really felt a surge of power. After about 10 seconds, it disappeared. It's done. I stood up and looked at him. Thank you, I really feel better. It's always a pleasure. Alright, I'll continue on my way. Safe travels. I went on my way, crossing plains and small forests between the mountains. The rain began, bringing the cold, but it was bearable. In the distance, I spotted 3 silver knights, but I passed by fighting them didn't make sense. After 10 more minutes of walking, I stumbled upon a bonfire. I walked up to it and lit it. The beam pointed straight to the temple in the mountains. Great. Now I'll rest and head up to the temple. I sat by the bonfire, rested for a few minutes, and then got up. Turning around, I saw the Silver Knight who was standing right on the path of the temple. How did he get there? He wasn't here before. At that moment, he saw me. A huge monster crawled out of him. They are called Rotten. Holy shit, what do we do now? I remember the bombs we found near the corpse under the tree. These creatures are afraid of fire. The creature rushed at me, but I threw a bomb at it, causing it to writhe like a worm and scream. I ran up to it and started hitting it with my fire sword. When the fire went out, it tried to grab me, but I managed to dodge and throw another bomb. This time, through the pain and fire, it rushed at me, grabbed me with its paw, and shoved me into its mouth. It was hitting me against the ground, trying to tear me apart. So this is the end. I appeared at the bonfire. What? Why am I alive? I looked back and saw the Silver Knight, and next to him were my lost souls. Holy shit. Ending 3, Sacrifice of a Damned Miserable Life. You become cursed, undead, dying again and again, trying to reach your goal. Okay. So there's a second ending. I wouldn't know how to get it. What choices would you even go for? I don't know. How long are we in? 2.5 hours? I don't know. Maybe I'll think about calling it. I'm not invested in, like, the Dark Souls lore stuff to really, like, go through it all, you know? Ow. And then we still have one more, what do you call it? Another standalone mod. I don't know. Throw on the ending screen. Chat's dead, so I'll probably just wrap it up fast. Excuse me. Friday will be the other mod if Wombo still is down, which is, it's been like, what, 2 weeks now? So either or, keep your eyes out. Probably make the decision either late tomorrow or last minute Friday. Depends on if I remember or not, but whatever. Don't know about the stream tomorrow though, so if worst case scenario, it's just a Friday stream, so I'll see you then. Oh, wait, don't worry, 90% of players ain't invested in the lore too, because no way you got time to search item descriptions for a tiny bit of Kindle-sized book. Good stream. I'm going to bed early. I'm thinking about going to bed early. My tailbone's just been fucking not right today. For the first time in, like, I don't know how long, it's been hurting when I bend over now, so that's great. Things just keep better and better. At least it wasn't Elden Ring themed. I've been hilarious. I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna take it easy, and we'll see what happens tomorrow or Friday.